Hey everybody, Corey Poirier here, award-winning professional speaker and international best-selling author. And thank you again so much for joining us on this 4-part video training series. Really excited to see all your comments after the first video was released, video number 1. I'd love to see your questions, your insight, what you've been sharing with the community members, and also happy to see that you're using the spider method and to see how everybody is using it. So very excited about that. And I'm also really excited to help you with these questions that I keep getting, as I mentioned in video 1. These questions of how do I grow my speaking business? How do I launch a speaking career? How do I find the right clients? How do I get the right bookings? And how do I get booked those high fees I hear about and booked often? Also getting those questions like, how do I share my message with a bigger audience on a bigger stage? Or if I'm an entrepreneur or business owner and I just want to use speaking to grow my business or brand, how do I actually go about doing that? How do I get in front of that right audience? And how do I get my message out there as an entrepreneur? So very excited about these questions, and what I'm also excited about is putting together this 4-part training series where we're intending to provide the solutions and answers to those very questions. So, before we jump into the meat of today's video, which just by the way is we're going to be coming at you from Saskatchewan and Edmonton in Canada, and I'm going to be talking about how do you become an authority in your industry and how do you deliver value adds for your client that'll set you apart from other speakers. But before we jump to that, I wanted to just give you a little teaser or preview that video number 3 when we're in Prince Edward Island, we're going to talk about how do you study the craft of speaking and study at the feet of giants, and how do you deliver an experience that'll allow you to connect emotionally with your audience. But again, before we jump there, why don't you join me in Saskatchewan and Edmonton, Canada, where we're going to take you through today's training. Hey everybody, it's Corey Poirier, and so I'm back with another video. I'm speaking in Edmonton this week. I'm actually in front of the West Edmonton Mall. I know you probably can't see it from there, but I was trying to decide where should I record a video, this video for you guys, and I thought the West Edmonton Mall, one of the biggest malls in the world, might be the cool place to do it. So I thought I'd take you into the mall. Hope you don't mind the walking as we talk, but let's go into the mall and see where we might want to film this time. One idea is I thought maybe we could film in front of the skating rink inside the West Edmonton Mall. I don't know, what do you think about that idea? I guess maybe another idea is I could film a video inside the water park inside the West Edmonton Mall. So here I am at the pirate ship, also where the dolphins perform, over that direction over there, and of course the submarine goes underneath me. I shouldn't say of course, not that like that's a normal thing inside a mall. But I don't know, what do you think about this location? Maybe an option? Hey everybody, Corey Poirier here, and I'm coming at you from Fort Edmonton Park. I think you can see the Hotel Selkirk sign there. So why I decided to come to Fort Edmonton Park today is Fort Edmonton Park is one of my clients. I've worked with them numerous times as a speaker and as a presenter, presenting to their staff. And if you remember in the last video, or one of the videos in this series, if you remember one of the videos in this series, I talked about how you should get yourself in front of audiences, and if you can get yourself in front of the right audience that has many people represented in the room, it gives you more opportunities to find presenting and speaking, let's say, opportunities and leads, if you will. And so this is a great example, because at this Hotel Selkirk, I spoke to a Rotary group numerous times, and the person in charge of bringing in speakers and trainers at the Fort Edmonton Park actually saw me at a Rotary Talk and approached me about coming in to speak to his group, and now it's turned into 3 opportunities at this stage to come in and work with his staff. So just to kind of back up, when I mentioned the idea that if you get yourself in front of a group like a Rotary or a chamber, you'll actually get more opportunities to speak because you'll be in front of more audiences and more entrepreneurs and business owners and organizations. So I just wanted to back that up. Now Fort Edmonton Park, I don't know if you can see, I'll do a little bit of a shot here, is actually old school Edmonton. So I think it's around 1800s Edmonton, and they're trying to recreate that every day for people to come and check it out. And their idea and concept is to create memories worth sharing. So I love that. But without further ado, let me jump into the video training and the tip for today. I'm going to have 2 tips. The first one I want to share with you
relates to how do you position yourself as an expert so that you can either A, increase your speaking fees, B, can start getting speaking fees, or C, if you just want to go into a speaking career to launch your business or grow your business, how can you also start getting those kind of opportunities? And I believe firmly that a lot of it comes through positioning. How do you position yourself? Because if you're positioned as the expert, people are going to want to bring you in to speak about your business, and you're going to become the expert known for your business. Or if you're trying to grow a speaking business, it's going to give you an opportunity to start collecting fees or start upping your fees. So, and people ask me that all the time. How do I start charging fees, or how do I bump my fee? How do you do this? So, how do you do this? How do you leverage yourself to become an expert? How do you position yourself as an expert? Well, there's a lot of opportunity you have today that you never had before. And by the way, if you notice that the camera's moving around a lot, hopefully that's not distracting. But what it is, I decided to use my first ever selfie stick, something I said I'd never do, but I wanted to make this video kind of dynamic, move around a bit, so I thought this was an opportunity to do that. So a great way to position yourself as the expert is to get yourself in front of people in an expert type capacity. So what are some great ways you can do that? Well, you can approach a local college about teaching a course. That's a great way to become the expert. You can also decide that you want to write an article for a publication. That'll position you as the expert. You can write a book on the subject. If you write a book, you become the expert in a subject. If you can write a compilation book, so you can actually submit a chapter and you don't have to write the full book. And there's lots of people putting out compilation books that would be happy to have your chapter involved. You can teach a course, as I mentioned, at a local college. You can get on a podcast. There's lots of podcasters looking for great guests. You can get on a radio show. And when you do these type of things, you become the go-to expert. So what I'm going to do when we get into the training side of the speaking program is I'm going to teach you how to do some of this stuff. Even our radio show, a top-rated show, we're always looking for great guests. But when you start positioning yourself like this is an opportunity to either A, start charging fees. Every time you add another expert positioning tool, so another expert positioning situation, like you wrote a book, you wrote a chapter in a book, you wrote an article for a big publication, you appeared on a big media outlet. These are times when you either A, start adding fees, or B, you start upping your fees. But now if your goal is to actually grow your entrepreneurial business or grow your brand or get your name out there or get in front of big audiences that you can use leverage to actually grow your brand, then submitting these articles, writing these parts of books, getting on radio shows is a great way to position yourself as the expert so that they want you speaking at your event. And what might happen then is you might get on the card with other big speakers or other people known in your industry as the experts, and then just simply by partnering with them or being on the same bill, you now get to leverage off of their brand. So there's great opportunities that way, and also whenever you do that, you might even want to look at partnering with people that are doing big things so that you can, again, both maybe work together to share networks and grow opportunities. And these are some of the ways you'll get more speaking gigs, you'll get better speaking gigs, and or if you don't even want speaking gigs, you'll be able to leverage and grow your business accordingly or share a powerful message. So here I am at a different part of Fort Edmonton Park, as you can probably tell. And so what I wanted to talk about now, I just wanted to, I thought it might be a good opportunity for me to actually talk about how I'm walking my walk and talking my talk when it comes to this idea of positioning yourself as the expert. So what I'd love to see you do, if you're so inclined, is check out and go to my Facebook page or website or LinkedIn profile and watch the different podcasts that I'm on talking about how to become a speaker, how to share your message, how to create an impact, how to get paid as a speaker, how to grow your business through speaking. Watch the articles I'm doing, watch the podcasts I'm jumping onto, the radio shows I'm on, video interviews. Start watching that stuff and you'll see that I'm actually demonstrating this right now myself. I'm positioning and branding myself right now as the go-to person when it comes to the speaking industry. So it's exactly what I'm talking about having you do and take action on, which is to find opportunities where you can share your message and become the branded expert in whatever field you choose. So again, right now, I am doing that and repositioning myself as the person that can teach you how to make an impact with speaking, how to get paid to speak, and how to grow a business through speaking. This is a great opportunity to kind of watch it in action, and if you want, duplicate what I'm doing. If you want, even look at some of the articles I'm writing and who I'm writing them for and the shows I'm jumping on, and reach out to those people yourself. So I hope you take action on this, and I just wanted to also roll up my sleeves and show you that I'm actually doing this and not just saying it's something you should do. So now for tip number 2. So I'm coming at you today live from Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. You can see I did like a little pan to show you the statues that I'm standing near. It's kind of one of the more unique things I've ever seen. It's in the middle of an industrial park, and there's all these really cool, funky statues. You can see the one behind me, which is the one I decided was cool enough to film in front of. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to give you that second tip I promised today. Gonna make it really quick because I just finished speaking with one client who actually recommended this area to film this part of the video, and then I'm on my way to speak to the audience of the client who brought me in for my talk to Saskatoon. So, that being said, tip number 2 that I want to share with you is a way that you can stand out from other speakers or other entrepreneurs that are trying to get the booking that you were, let's say, approaching a client about, or they approached you about. One of the things I noticed is that a lot of speakers offer a lot of the same thing in terms of what the takeaways are and in terms of what they offer to the client before and after in the way of value adds. So I decided years ago to try to stand out and try to offer some different value adds. So I'm going to share those with you, and you can steal those if you'd like, but really the core message here is if you can offer your client something that nobody else can, you're probably going to stand out. So some of the values I offer is, first and foremost, I offer a quick reference guide and my takeaway form, something that the attendees can take away and refer to later on to kind of remind them what was covered and make sure they can still implement it. I also provide a top 10 insights guide, and the insights on this guide were called from my 3400 interviews with enlightened super achievers. So I know that this guide is exclusive to the client because who else is going to have done the interviews with that exact person and gathered this exact insight. So I offer this as well so they see that they're getting something unique for their attendees, and the attendees, I can promote it to them as something exclusive as well. In addition to this, what I also offer is I also offer to bring somebody from the conference or the group or the company onto our radio show, interview them, provide them with a finished and polished interview clip that they can use and share to promote the event and generate interest around the event. And much along the same lines, I'll offer to put together a webinar or a 15 or 20 minute video that I'll send out to the attendees 30 days after my talk, so that way they have a reinforcement of what was covered and in some ways additional training and a reminder. And then also I will provide them with a 30-minute teaser video before the talk, so that way they have another way to generate interest for people that are going to be attending in the first place. So those are some of the things I offer as a value add. I'll also give you a bonus too if you're bidding and you're presenting a price or a value. So if you're an entrepreneur or somebody presenting a nonprofit cause, you may simply demonstrate or reveal or let them know the value of what it would cost to bring you in if they were paying for it. Or if you're a paid speaker, you may actually put the cost or investment to bring you in. And what I want you to do is show that number, and let's just say it's $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, whatever that is. What I want you to do is I then want you to find out how many attendees are going to be there. And let's say if there's going to be 100 attendees, and let's say your fee was $3,000 or that's the value, then what I want you to do, whether it's in your email, your proposal, or when you're talking to the client, I want you to do the math and show them that that's really just $30 in that case per attendee, which really is less than a cost of a nice meal for their staff or the attendees. And I want you to demonstrate that for $30, they're going to get knowledge and wisdom and insight that they may use forever. So this is a way to break down the numbers to show them it's not a big $3,000 or $4,000 or $5,000 or $10,000 investment, and instead it's just X amount per attendee. And typically speaking, that number is going to be quite small in comparison.
So I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you loved the training. I hope you got some wisdom and insight you can use starting today as soon as you are done with the video. And I hope you enjoyed visiting and checking out Saskatchewan and Edmonton in Canada. I wanted to address and answer a question that I get regularly. I thought this is a perfect time because the question relates to something I covered in the actual training today. So the question becomes, and this is the question I get from people often, is, am I qualified to be the authority or the expert? I have people reach out to me, whether it's about the speaking industry and they're just getting started, whether it's somebody who, we approach people to be in our last book and share wisdom and insight. And I had people reply and ask, am I qualified to share that wisdom and insight? So I get this question often is, am I an authority figure? Am I qualified to become that authority figure? And I'll answer it by saying this, it all starts with that first step. So if you have experience from an industry that you're in or something that's uniquely yours, something that you've learned over the years, if you're passionate about the topic that you're speaking on, then absolutely you have the right to become an authority and you have wisdom that'll allow you to do it. So I'll tell you, the first time I did the media, I didn't think that I'd be qualified to be an authority figure, but I decided to bite the bullet and take action anyway. And I shared some wisdom and insight during an interview, and lo and behold, a few people said it was stuff they never heard before, or something they could use that I shared, and it started making me realize that's how you become an authority. That's how it all starts. The first time I took the stage for the first time, I didn't think I was qualified to be an authority, to be speaking from the stage, but by taking that action and taking the step onto the stage, I started to become an authority in the minds of the people that were hearing my message. So again, I'll go back to the point and say I think we're all qualified to share our message and story, and it's just a matter of sharing it in a way that impacts other people, and it all starts with that first action. So again, you are qualified, in my opinion. You just have to find the way to take that action that other people can learn from. So, video number 3 is coming up shortly in a few days, and I want to just give you a little glimpse or insight as to what we're going to cover in video number 3 is a little bit of a teaser. I'm going to take you to Prince Edward Island, my home province, where I'm going to cover how do you study at the feet of giants and learn from the best of the best, and how do you create an emotional experience for your audience so that they want more of you. So that's what I'm going to cover in video 3, and I can't wait to reveal that to you in a few days. But until that time, I'd love to see you once again get engaged and share in the comments section below. Tell us what you're liking, tell us what you're learning, share what you're going to do starting tomorrow. Just be engaged if you can, and share with us, and we'd love to get engaged with you as well. So I can't wait to see your comments. But before you run off and go implement what you just learned, I'd love for you to check out Shelly's homework for the day. So I'm going to send it over to Shelly, and she is going to share with you the homework for the day that we're hoping you're going to take on and tackle. So thank you so much. Let's make some magic happen, everybody.
Hi everybody, it's Shelly again, and we sure are hoping that you're enjoying today's video training series. So now it's time for homework, and like I promised, I am going to do the homework with all of you, and then it'll be your turn. So today Corey talked about being an authority. So we all know that sometimes we struggle about claiming the fact that we are an authority. Sometimes we doubt ourselves, maybe we don't have enough experience, maybe, we're not quite there yet. But Corey's telling us that we really are, or we really can be an authority in a certain area. So it's time that we look at our past, we look at our past experiences, we look at things that have been in our life, and we look at those, and there has to be something in our life that we can claim that we are an authority in. So once we've done that, then, we can go to social media, we can, position ourselves with different types of media, and get our name out there and start positioning ourselves that we are an authority in that area. I think really hard of what I might be an authority in. I even talked to some friends and got them to maybe help figure out what I could actually claim that I was an authority in. I spoke with Corey, I talked to a couple other close friends, and what we came out with was transformation. So I have transformed after some hard times in my life, and I've always come out the other end. It's been some deep tunnels, but I've always seen the light, and I was able to transform and get myself to the light and to a better place where I want to be. So a few examples of this is career change. I've actually had to change my career on a few occasions. I've been through divorce. A friend of mine, a family member, I've watched some people go through retirement, and I personally haven't done it, but I'm so interested to hear from those people because it really is probably one of the biggest transformations that anyone's going to make. And I think it impacts them as well as family members and their mental health in a lot of different ways. So everything that I've been through, I believe that my own experiences, the experiences that I've learned from others, I think I could actually easily start to position myself as an authority in transformation. So it did take some time to actually figure out what I was going to be an authority in, but it did come to fruition, and I know all of you can do the same. So please leave your comments, send us an email, Let us know what you think you're an authority in, maybe and why. Leave your comments. Just get in touch with us and get engaged. Until then, have a great day and get to work. So all of you are watching probably this on your computer, your phone. It's been amazing to bring all this to your desktops or mobile devices. And so that leads into my next question. What do you think of social media?